Hi, I'm Kurt Von Kahl with Kurt's Kitchen. Today we're going to use the Capital Range Culinarian cooktop. It's a high output burner. This is a tri-flame burner, so you're getting a nice even heat distribution across the bottom of your pan. It's great for your searing. I mean, it's a true professional style burner for the home. So let's give it a test and break it down and see how easy it is to maintain as well. So I'm going to use Le Creuset, so it's a cast iron skillet, porcelain coated, that can absorb that nice high heat. I'm using a Dutch casserole pan because we're going to do a low simmer. So I'll do some pork shoulder for pulled pork. This is something that we can start at a high heat and then I'll turn it down so we can slow cook for the next few hours. As you power up the burner, you're going to see the flame goes from that inside to the outside rings. Now you don't have a lot of heat wasted from the heat coming up and hitting the top of the grate, suppressing some transfer to the bottom of your pan. It's a nice distribution so you can get heat from the inside right on out to the edge of your pan. So we're going to heat the pan up for a few minutes. I'll get that nice and hot. Let's put the pork in, and again we'll put the lid on with a little bit of liquid and let it slow cook for the next few hours. I've seared it for a few minutes around either side. Now what I'm going to do is just add a little bit of liquid. We're going to turn that to a low simmer, and like I said, we're going to let that go for a few hours so it can break the meat down like a traditional braise. Alright, so I've had the pork shoulder on the low simmer. I'm just going to check on it right now, see if it can break apart, see if it's fork tender, which it is. So very nice. So a nice high heat and a nice low simmer for that slow cooked item like pork shoulder. Okay, now we're going to do another high heat to low simmer. We're going to just do a standard rice pilaf. So we're going to crank the burner up on high, add our water to get that boil. And once we get our boil, which is definitely pretty quick on this high output BTU, then we'll add the rice, return to boil, and then start our low simmer. So now we've had our rice cooking standard. This was just over 20 minutes. Okay, let's see if we've hopefully not burnt it. So it had a nice little simmer. So that came out great. Now we're going to do another high heat searing. I'm using a cast iron skillet here for some sirloin tips. I've seasoned and oiled the sirloin. We're going to put a couple in, let them sear, and see the results that we get. Cast iron's great for obviously sirloin, steaks, fillets, chops. So again, we're going to get that nice high heat. This high output burner can achieve that, obviously. We're going to put a couple in, let them sear, and see the results that we get. So we seared the first side, we flipped over our sirloin tips, then I just turned the heat down, the residual heat from the cast iron skillet, cooked them all the way through. I stopped at a nice medium. Obviously, if you want them cooked long, more well, you just leave it on longer. So great caramelization, nice high heat, ideal for steaks and chops. Now we're going to try doing a stir fry using the Capital Culinarian. Now a stir fry is a staple for most people. A lot of folks might have difficulty with your traditional round burner because the flame sends the heat around the edges of your wok and not the center. Culinarian's giving us that nice center heat and outer heat distribution. You're hitting the base and the sides of the wok. Great for when you're doing your sautés and caramelizing your proteins or vegetables. And also when you're creating a sauce or using that to steam some greens. So we're just doing a vegetable stir fry, but if you're going to use a protein such as shrimp, pork, beef, do the protein first, but don't cook it all the way through. Maybe sear that first in your wok, put that onto a plate. If you want to spice it up, we're going to use a little sriracha and then finish it with a homemade hoisin and cranberry sauce. Excellent range top. Just to cover cleanup, your grates pull off. There is a drip pan. It is an open burner, but it's almost semi-sealed in a way that in the event you ever did have a spillover down through the flame itself, or the burner, not the flame, because then you might have a problem. There's a drip tray underneath, so that can capture anything that might drip down in there. That range top is easy to clean. If you have any further questions, please reach out to me at kurtskitchen.com.